Imagine moving into your dream home, only to find it's a living nightmare. This is the terrifying true story of the Ammons family and the house in Gary, Indiana, that became known as the portal to hell. In 2011, LaToya Ammons, her mother, and her 3 young children moved into a small rental house on Carolina Street. It seemed perfect at first, but things quickly took a dark turn. It started subtly. In the dead of winter, the house would inexplicably become infested with massive swarms of black flies, appearing and disappearing without a trace. Then came the footsteps, creaking up the basement stairs at night when everyone was asleep. Doors would slam shut on their own, and strange, shadowy figures were seen lurking in the corners of rooms. LaToya and her mother, Rosa, tried to ignore it, telling themselves it was just an old house settling. But the activity began to escalate, focusing on the children. The kids started having conversations with an unseen entity. Her youngest son would talk to a boy no one else could see, a boy who lived in the closet. Her daughter would be lifted into the air and thrown across the room by an invisible force. Their personalities changed. They became violent. Their eyes would bulge, and they'd speak in deep, unnatural voices. One terrifying night, Rosa was visiting and heard screams coming from the children's bedroom. She rushed in to find LaToya's 9-year-old son with a bizarre, creepy grin on his face, walking backward up the wall and onto the ceiling. He then flipped over, landing perfectly on his feet, completely unfazed. Rosa was paralyzed with fear. This was no longer just a haunting. It was something far more sinister. Desperate LaToya sought help from doctors, churches, and even the police, but most dismissed her stories as cries for attention or signs of mental illness. She was a single mother of 3. They thought she was just overwhelmed, but one person finally listened. Valerie Washington, a family case manager from the Department of Child Services. Initially a skeptic, Washington visited the home to conduct an evaluation. What she witnessed would change her mind forever. During the visit, strange things started happening right in front of her. Lights flickered, audio recorders malfunctioned, and she even captured a photo that appeared to show a ghostly figure in the window. But the most chilling event was when she and a registered nurse were interviewing LaToya's 9-year-old son. Suddenly, the boy's eyes rolled back in his head, and he began to speak in a demonic voice, threatening them. Then, he started growling and walked backward up the wall, just as Rosa had described. The nurse and the case manager fled the house in terror, now completely convinced that the family was under a demonic attack. This official report from a government employee finally got the authorities to take the case seriously. The Gary police chief, Charles Austin, a 36-year veteran of the force, was a hardened skeptic. He thought the whole thing was a hoax. But after visiting the house himself, his perspective shattered. His police radio malfunctioned. His car seat started moving on its own, and he recorded audio files that, when played back, contained a voice whispering "hey" when no one had spoken. He left the house a believer, stating, "I am a believer." With the police and child services now on board, the case took an unprecedented turn. A Catholic priest, Father Michael Magina, was called in to perform an exorcism. He described the house as being infested with powerful demonic entities. He performed multiple exorcisms on LaToya, reporting that she would convulse and speak in tongues during the rituals. He believed there were over 200 demons haunting the family and the property. During this time, the children were temporarily removed from LaToya's custody while the situation was investigated. Even away from the house, they continued to exhibit disturbing behavior, further proving that the entities had attached themselves to the family not just the building. After months of prayers, exorcisms, and psychological evaluations that found LaToya to be of sound mind, the family was finally They never returned to the house on Carolina Street. So, what happened to the house itself? The story attracted paranormal investigators from all over, including Zach Bagans from the show Ghost Adventures. Bagans purchased the house in 2014, calling it the most compelling case of possession he had ever seen. He planned to film a documentary there, but during his investigation, the paranormal activity was so intense and aggressive that crew members became ill, and one even quit on the spot. Bagans reported feeling a dark, oppressive energy that he had never experienced before. The house seemed to affect everyone who entered. Even the construction workers hired to make repairs would quit, reporting tools flying off shelves, and an overwhelming sense of dread. The demonic presence was so strong that Bagans ultimately decided the house was too dangerous to remain standing. He felt it was a genuine portal to hell that was actively harming people. In 2016, with LaToya Ammons' blessing, Zach Bagans had the house demolished. He believed that destroying the physical structure was the only way to close the portal and prevent the evil from spreading. Today, all that remains on Carolina Street is an empty lot. But the story of the Ammons family and the demon house of Gary, Indiana, serves as a chilling reminder of the unknown. Was it a case of mass hysteria, a desperate plea for help, or did a family truly come face to face with a legion of demons? With credible witnesses from the police, child services, and the medical field all corroborating the events, it remains one of the most well-documented and terrifying paranormal cases in American history. The house may be gone, but the questions and the fear linger on. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as chilling as I did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next dive into the unknown. See you next time.